Hello students, this is Soumya Sri. Welcome to your biology class. In the last video, we read the 4 parts of flower. Can you say the names? Yes. The 4 parts of a flower are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So, now can you say me which is known as the female reproductive part of a flower? Yes, gynoecium is known as the female reproductive part of a flower. Now, tell me the male reproductive part of a flower. Yes, androecium is known as the male reproductive part of a flower. Next, all of you open your biology book, page 21, table 2.1. Here, the function of parts of a flower given. You have to remember the name and their function. Already, we have discussed all that parts and their function. Okay. Now, your job is you have to remember their name and their function, because this is very much important. Okay, today we are going to read an interesting topic, that is your pollination and the types of flower. Just like how plants help animals, animals also help plants in many processes. Okay, how? Let's see. One such process is known as pollination, which is needed for the reproduction of plants. So children, remember one thing, for reproduction of plant we need two steps. Two steps is important for reproduction. First one is your pollination and second one is your fertilization. So what is pollination? The process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the same flower or different flower of the same type plant is known as your pollination. Okay? The definition we will understand later on. Now you understand, okay, what are the steps for is needed for reproduction. Okay? Second one is your fertilization. It is the process of fusion of male and female gametes to produce offsprings. So offsprings means what? Offsprings means your next generation. Okay, by the reproduction only your next generation can continue. Okay, so you know that, yes, your plants are fixed and they cannot move at all. Yes, so how the plants can do the reproduction? Okay, for that they need pollination. Okay, why pollination is needed for the plants? Because by the process pollination only the male gamete and female gamete can come closer to each other. Okay, so we have understood that pollination is an important step for reproduction. Here you can see two gametes are here. So here what they are doing? They are fusing themselves to produce the zygote. What is zygote? We will read later on. Okay, but remember, like this way they will fuse with each other, means they will combine with, they will mix with each other. Okay, here see one diagram given. This is one stigma. Okay, completely one stigma. The below one is your, the round like structure is your ovary, and the up one, the round ball like structure is your pollen grains, and stigma is the, you can see the stigma. Okay, and the pollen tube is the tube like structure. Okay, and the remaining you will read in your higher class For that timing, it is no need to remember all that names. You just remember the pollen grain, stigma, pollen tube, and style. And the style, you can see that thread-like structure. Okay. So, what is pollination? The process of transfer of pollen to the stigma is known as pollination. Okay. We will read some feature of gymnosperm and angiosperm. So pollination can be done by various means. Even animals help plants out in this process. Okay. Let us see the different means by which pollination occurs. Flowers of a plant can be two types, that is unisexual and bisexual flower. So what is bisexual flower? If a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, is called the bisexual flower. That means in that flower both the androecium and gynoecium will present on a same flower, is known as your bisexual flower. Okay. Then what is unisexual flower? Unisexual flower means in that flower only any one will be present. That may be your androecium or gynoecium. Example here, papaya. Okay, papaya is the example of your unisexual flower. Okay, so I think you have understood about the bisexual flower and unisexual flower. So based on the types of flower, your pollination is divided into two types, that is your self-pollination and cross-pollination. So let's see about self-pollination. So you can see this is a flower. Yes, you can see the stigma, the green like structure, and the yellow one is your anther. So in that anther only the pollen grains will be there. So how that pollination will occur? For pollination, the transfer should occur in between the pollen grain and stigma. Okay. When the pollen is transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant, is known as self-pollination. So, in the self-pollination, we have to remember first one thing, that self-pollination occurs only in one plant. That may be in the same flower on the different flower of the same plant. Understood? Okay. Then cross-pollination. So cross-pollination, where it will occur? Remember, in cross-pollination, in same plant it will not occur. For cross-pollination, they need two different plants. Okay. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen to the stigma of another flower of a different plant. Okay. That may not be your same plant, may not, obviously, that will not, the cross pollination will not occur in the same plant. Okay, the cross pollination only it will occur in the different plant. So you can see different flower it is given, and here the agent is one insect. Okay, that insect will carry the pollen grains from one flower and that will sit on the stigma, and that pollen grains which are sticked to the that insect. So after sitting on the stigma, that pollen grains all that will come to the stigma. After that your pollination is complete. So now you can open your biology book page 22. You can see the figure 2.2 self pollination. How in one plant the pollination can occur. First figure A, figure 2.2, the first figure is the self pollination occur in the same flower, and the second figure the self pollination occur in the different flower of the same plant. Then cross pollination, figure 2.3, here different flower of the different plant. The cross pollination is, you can see. Okay, then So, in case of your cross pollination, it needs some other agents, other outer agents like air, water, insect, and birds. Okay, so how these are called your agents of pollination. Okay, so the agents of pollination, how they help in the pollination, we will read in the next class. I think today's one you have understood clearly. Okay, whatever, if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. Okay, go through carefully this video and try to understand. Okay, thank you.